For Johanna, everything's a big deal.
Of course it is. Everything matters.
Nothing matters.
It all matters.
We're all gonna die soon enough.
So
And
everything matters.
No. Shh, don't listen to her. Listen to me.
Welcome back to the Rocket Mockett Show Up.
To blow up. Hey, have you ever heard the saying, not everyone's gonna like you. So, just do your thing because you're never gonna get everyone to like you. You heard that? I believe that's not true. I believe you can get everybody to like you. Believe me, babe?
I want everyone to like me.
Everyone does like you, babe. But here's the thing. Here's the reason why I thought of this. No. Maybe they don't. Maybe right now you're thinking like, I don't even really like Adam. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's because you don't know me. Now, this does not work for people that are sociopaths, Machiavellism or whatever it is. And just so you know, if that's you, you don't know you're that type of person. Everybody else knows that's you.
You don't know you're a narcissist?
Yeah. But everybody else does. So this doesn't apply to the small percent that is that. But if you're normal, just a regular, healthy human being, no mental, well, you might have a little bit of mental issues. That's okay too. But just for the most part, so the example I think of, I was talking to my friend Zulu, Edibari Zulu, and we had just heard Ty Lopez speak. And Ty Lopez did a really good message. He's like, it's so crazy. Like, I actually really like him. I don't know why. I felt like I never really liked him. And I said, you know why? It's because you didn't know his story. So here's the thing with Ty Lopez. Everyone knows who Ty Lopez is for the most part if you're in the social world. If you don't, here's why he's famous. The very first video that you saw him was him in his garage, like, hey, here in my garage, and it showed him in his Lamborghinis. It showed he was just like showing off his house, and it was like, this guy's a douchebag. This guy's just like showing off his Lamborghinis and whatever. And so nobody liked him, or at least a lot of people didn't like him. But if you knew where he came from, you would like him. If you knew that his dad went to prison and he was raised by his mom and he was living in the ghettos of Long Beach, California, and he, sleeping on couches, and then he ended up moving to where the Amish, and he for years was living in the Amish just to learn and grow, and then he got a mentor and read a lot of books, and then he became very successful and he knows his stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, if you knew that Ty Lopez came from nothing, came from, the ghettos of Long Beach, and now he has the dream house in Beverly Hills, now he drives a Lamborghini, you're like, okay, I can respect that. Mm-hmm. That guy's awesome. And so here's the secret. You want everybody to like you, you have to tell stories. Don't just try to go in, if you're trying to sell something, just talk about facts. Facts?
Tell.
But stories?
Sell.
We say that all the time. And so you want to be able to sell, then you got to sell yourself. And the way you sell yourself is tell stories. Think about it.
Not like stories, but just be vulnerable and share who you really are. Just share your own story. Yeah.
I think that Johanna is a really good speaker because she's not afraid to be vulnerable. She almost will always get teary-eyed or passionate, and people feel, but she'll also share her weaknesses, which is a gift. I feel like a lot of times people are afraid to do that, and so they say, oh, I just want to play the cool guy or be the hot girl, and there's nothing wrong with me, and I'm awesome. But think about it. You always like the hardships. You love when people are vulnerable. When you are vulnerable, other people want to be. If you share your struggles, they'll share their struggles. And if you share your weaknesses and you share your truth, then the person that you're talking will be like, you know what? I like that person. I like her. I don't know why, but I just really trust her. She's such a good person. And you will get everybody to like you if you told your story more. But why do you think most people don't want to tell their story? Babe?
I just thought of something.
What?
So, dating Adam and having been friends with him for a really long time before dating him. So probably we've been friends, 20 years?
Yeah, crazy.
20 years?
We're 25 now, so we're 5.
So, whenever we would hang out or we'd be somewhere for date night, or we'd always run into somebody that Adam knew. Everywhere. Go to the movies, go to a restaurant, travel to Hawaii. Somehow Adam would come across somebody he knew. He'd always be like, oh my gosh, hey man, what's up? Remember me? We were like in kindergarten sitting next to each other in the classroom. Or remember me? We played baseball together. Somehow he always would come across everybody he knew. Everybody would always say to me, oh my gosh, we love Adam. He's so awesome. You know, and even to this day, your husband, he's just the best guy. He's so amazing. I'm like, yes, I know. I'm so lucky.
That's why I married him.
That's why I married him. But I realized that you pretty much wear your weakness, like your arm, like just in the day-to-day, like you were saying, people like when you're vulnerable and there's relatability, and your vulnerability is like seen from physical appearance, where other people's vulnerabilities they try to hide, and you can't really hide yours. And I think so for in some reason people like root for the underdog.
Yeah.
They, you know what I mean? And that's just one thing. The other thing that you're really, really good at is making people feel special. Like if I sometimes come across people that I used to sit in kindergarten with, I kind of just walk past because I'm really not good at small talk, and I always get a little bit awkward and I don't know what to say. Where you will
king of small talk.
You will seek them out.
I only talk small. Don't give me your freaking deep talk. I don't want to talk about your emotions.
No, but you will like seek them out. You're like, hey man, what's up? And you will like, you always include people and you make people feel special. And I don't know if that has to do with the weakness, but I think the combination, does that make sense?
Yeah, so little tip, people don't care that much about you. They only really care about themselves. They're only worried about how they look. They're only worried about like how other people are perceiving them. And so if you just ask questions all the time, and you're just like, well, how was your day? Oh, what do you think about that? And you're like a party or something. This is crazy. Try this out. I've tried it out many times. It's pretty crazy. Literally try not to say anything other than just ask questions about the person you're talking to. They will leave. This in the book of How to Win Friends and Influence People. It talks about this. How to Win Friends and Influence People is one of the best books. But if you just keep asking about the person and then you leave, and then they'll end up talking to their friend and like, I don't really know why I like that person, but he was freaking really cool. She was so awesome. You didn't even say anything. You weren't even talking. They were talking the whole freaking time. Try it out. I'm telling you, people are so into themselves and their own insecurities.
Well, I think that people just want to be known.
Yeah.
They just want to be known. And so if you genuinely want to know them,
yeah.
then how could they, number one, not like you?
Yeah.
And number two, usually when I don't know, when you're vulnerable with somebody else, they feel more comfortable being.
What's your
with
vulnerability, Johanna, since yours is not on your outer layer?
My vulnerability or my weakness?
Yeah.
I have many weaknesses, but well, here's my belief about most weaknesses and most strengths. I think most of your qualities can be your greatest strength, and they can also be your greatest weakness. I think one of my greatest strengths is that I'm highly emotional and intense. I'm just an emotional and intense person, and I want to be the best at everything all the time. And I think that makes me strive for more. It makes me want to achieve. It makes me want to grow and get better. It makes me really good at what I do. What comes with that, though, is a lot of high, intense emotions and never really feeling like I'm good enough. So I can be difficult, probably, to be married to at some points.
No, love her.
Because I'm very intense and emotional, and I can be, like Adam always says, I can go from 0 to 100 in like 2 seconds, faster than a Tesla. My emotions and my intensity, and I think that can be a strength, and that can also be a weakness. And so and I think that's the case for most people. I think Adam, well, what's your strength?
I feel like one of mine is my humor.
Yes.
And then the other one is I just don't really care that much.
Which can be a strength and a weakness.
Anything at all.
Other than me.
I care so much about my kids, my family, like the things that I care about. Like there's very few things that I really care about. For Johanna, everything's a big deal.
Of course it is. Everything matters.
Nothing matters.
It all matters.
We're all gonna die soon enough.
So
And it's
everything matters.
No, shh, don't listen to her. Listen to me. There's a Netflix documentary of the guy, I don't even know what his name is, but he's super smart and he talks about the universe and planets and just how big our Earth is and all this stuff, right? He's very brilliant. And I'm listening to these in my headphones while I'm trying to sleep. And did you know, hopefully I said this right, to get to the moon, from Earth to the moon, it's one light, second. That's it. Like to get the light from Earth to moon, 1 light second. And then to get to a star is 100 light years.
Wow.
Is your mind blown by that?
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? Light gets there right away. And so if you want to get to another star, we talk about let's go to Mars, let's go to outside of this galaxy. We're so freaking far behind from doing that. We're never gonna be able to do that. Hopefully one day, I hope we are. But why do I say this? So just to get to a star, the first star, and then you realize that that's just our galaxy. And then you realize there's more galaxies. And to get to these galaxies just hundreds of light years away. And that's our galaxy. So there's our God, and he's created this huge, gigantic universe. And we are gonna live on this planet, Earth, this speck, this little dot, this little if you see it's just this Earth, and you get to be a part of it for that. Why am I gonna care about what people think about me? Or why am I gonna care about should I make that phone call because I'm scared they might say no to me? Or should I prospect this person? I think they'd be great at my business, but I don't know if I wanna do it because they might think it's weird or something. Yeah, that's what average people think. But if you think about it, you have this moment in this speck of sand that you live in this moment, you get to be a part of it and you could do something great or you could just be nothing. But either way, it doesn't really matter.
No, exactly, which is why it does matter because that's all you have. All you have is that speck, that second. So it all matters. What you do matters. What you eat for breakfast, what you drink, what you say to your spouse before you leave the door. What you pray about, think about, hope for, dream for, the actions you take, the way you treat other people. That all matters because it's all we have is a second. So it all matters and it all doesn't.
It's true.
I guess.
So that's the question.
Does it matter?
And I agree with you. I do agree
and I agree with
and
you
that's
too.
why I want to live this moment. I want to do these things. I want to do the things that scare me. I actually remember had this thing where I was I'm just going to do everything that fear. If there's something that's not actually physically scary, like jumping out of an airplane, that's physically scary. You could die. I still did it. It was awesome. We did it together. But other things like the dark is not scary. And so I remember thinking I was going to Johanna's parents' house and there was this, they have this downward cellar kind of thing. And I was gonna go get something, my daughter's blanket. And I decided, you know what? I'm not even gonna turn the lights on. I'm gonna freaking go down those stairs, pitch dark, and I'm gonna get the freaking blanket. And cause why? There's nobody down there. No one's gonna be down there. No one's gonna murder me.
Hopefully
There's
not.
Maybe, I understand if you're women and there's other things, but in this case, that's not a real fear.
Yeah.
And so I was I'm just gonna do it. So I went down there and my heart's racing. And I'm going, where's the blanket? Where's the blanket? It's late at night, no one's there, but it's just me. And I got the freaking blanket, I ran up the stairs and I got up and I was I did it. So here's my challenge to you. Do something that you are afraid of every day. Just do it. If it's something that's not a logical thing that you really need to be afraid of, make a phone call, book an appointment, ask that girl out, ask that guy out, go for that raise, whatever that is, just do it. Even if they say no, even if the girl says no, even if they say, no, we can't give you a raise right now, you will still feel better about it because at least you conquered that fear and you're well, maybe I'm not gonna get a raise. I should probably go somewhere.
Yep. Because you only have that brief little moment.
And it still feels like a long time, kind of. So don't waste it. All right. Does it matter? No, I don't think so.
I mean, it does. What do you think?
Yeah, let's see the comments. Tell me what you think. And also, please Subway sandwich. No, subscribe. Please subscribe.